So Lou, let's talk about the LIRP a little bit. What we haven't talked about yet is how does the LIRP make money? How does it make money? I know it's indexed and we're using the S&P 500. I'd like to talk about that a little bit, how it makes money.
The power of indexing is rooted in the ability to get a portion of the market's returns without any losses. So the calculation is actually very simple. If I'm going to look at the S&P 500 today's my first day, we'll look at the S&P 500. I'm going to look at the S&P 500 1 year from today. Whatever the S&P 500 goes up, I'm going to give to you, to a limit, 12%. So if the S&P 500 goes up 8, I get the whole 8. If the S&P 500 goes up 15, you get 12. But if the S&P 500 goes down, you don't get any, no losses, 0. So you can't lose, you can only win. And here's a factoid for you. If you look back over the S&P 500 over the last 90 years, 66 times that S&P 500 has been up. 24 times that S&P has been down. So what that means is pretty much for every 10 years for the S&P, you're going to be up 7 and get 3 zeros. So if I know that I win 7 out of 10 years and don't lose the other 3, if only I could do that in Atlantic City, I would really like that.
But the LIRP, since it uses the S&P, and you don't lose money on the way down, it's really performed pretty evenly with the S&P, except you have other goodies to go with it. You have tax-free income.
Right.
You have the long-term care benefit, and you have a tax-free death benefit.
Right.
Right?
If you look at what the S&P 500 has done over the last decades, and I'm not talking 10 years, I'm talking over the last 60, 70 years. Yeah. The S&P 500 and the indexing strategy have almost done the same. Really an indistinguishable difference between indexing and the S&P, because I never have to step backwards. And that's the strength. You've established, in the LIRP, you've established a death benefit.
And the cost, I know typically the cost, if you're a 60-year-old, about 1%.
About 1%.
Per year.
Yep.
About what someone is paying on their mutual funds, maybe even a little bit less.
But a big difference, if you're paying someone to manage your mutual funds or your accounts, you're paying them a fee.
Yeah, even in a 401k.
Right. Oh, absolutely, you're paying them a fee.
Yeah.
Here in the LIRP, all the numbers are net. That cost you establish that death benefit, it's there for you. The cash is growing under the indexing, it's all there, it's all net.
And then because you can't lose principal on the way down, right? You get a 0. Talk for a minute about sequence of returns.
I love sequence of returns. It's my accounting background, because people say sequence of returns and what does it mean? I break it down even simpler. When does the market go down? When does it go down? If you're ready to retire and you have 90% of your money in the stock market and the stock market goes down by 25%, maybe you can't retire. If it goes up, great. If it goes down, terrible. Do you want to risk your retirement?
Well, and then also, at some point, at age 72, depending, or 70, you have to take RMDs. Mandatory.
Yes.
And if you start taking money out and the market goes down, it's pretty hard to get back up.
You know, there's a rule of thumb. Yeah. And the rule, and we could debate, that's a topic for another podcast, about the rule of thumb, how much you can take out of your portfolio and make it last. Yeah. But the old rule of thumb is 4%. Well, do you realize when you're 72, your required minimum distributions from your IRAs is just about 4%, just a skosh less. So the IRS is saying to you, you have to take this out. What's going to happen to your balance over time? And the older you get, the more they make you take.
Oh yeah, each year it keeps going up.
Oh my goodness. Get into your 90s, your required minimum distribution is in the teens.
I guess the key is planning, and of course we use the LIRP, but the LIRP is one of the 4 buckets we use, and we'll talk about bucket strategies next.
I say it at the program virtually every time. You're not going to use your Apple stock for income, and you're not going to use your municipal bond portfolio for growth, but they both have a piece of a diversified portfolio to go where you want to go.
So to get hold of us to talk about this, for people to ask questions, we'll do a go-to-meeting. Why don't you give our email address and let them know where they can get on and find out a little more information.
srsstrategies.com. That's our website, srsstrategies.com. All of our contact information is in there. Just let us know you want to talk. We'll come to you, we'll talk on the phone, we'll do a go-to-meeting. We'll get together any way that we can so that we can start that dialogue about how to make these strategies work for you.